What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the BrewLab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight, in the BrewLab, I'm coming at you with a Boros deck, and I am calling it the Fearsome Flowers. And I'm bringing back one of my favorite Planeswalkers to come out of the mono-white color in a long time. Grandmaster of Flowers, also known as Bahamut. So as long as the Grandmaster of Flowers has 7 or more loyalty counters on him, he's a 7/7 dragon god creature with flying and indestructibility. Then you can +1 the first one to give a creature without first strike, double strike, or vigilance the inability to attack or block until your next turn, or you can use the other +1 to search your library and or graveyard, which is great for a card named Monk of the Open Hand. Reveal it, put it into your hand. If you search your library this way, shuffle. And the idea was, I've played the Grandmaster of Flowers in Boros Dragons decks in the past, in Standard, even before Crimson Bar was released, and now that we're in Alchemy, I've thought it would be a great addition to bring in the Fearsome Whelp to make it cheaper to cast some of our dragons, but not for it to be the entire focus of the deck like the rest of the dragons, Fearsome Whelps decks that we've been seeing in the Alchemy queues, where, you know, it's just dragons, as many dragons as you can with some removal spells, which is of course a really good deck, but I think we've already seen enough of that. And so I wanted to try something a little different, where the Fearsome Whelp is in the deck, but it's not the main focus. It's just kind of an added bonus, and it will help us reduce the cost of some of our dragons. And we have some. So the first one, which is an interesting choice, is Nadaar, the Selfless Paladin. Just a sneaky one of. You never know when some venturing into dungeons might come in handy. And of course, if you have him in hand the opening turn with Fearsome Whelp, you can then play him on turn 3 for 2 mana and still have, you know, 1 mana left open, maybe to cast, you know, first cast a Monk, then Nadaar, something like that, you know, because then you get the double spell trigger on the Monk of the Open Hand. The other dragons in the deck, I got 1 copy of Icingdeath, 1 copy of Manaform Hellkite, 3 copies of A-Goldspan Dragon, and 1 copy of the Adult Gold Dragon. And let's not forget about 2 copies of Cave of the Frost Dragon as well in the mana base. But that doesn't really count with regards to the cost reduction from Fearsome Whelp. The rest of the cards are just there to help us protect the Grandmaster of Flowers so that he can reach 7 loyalty and become Bahamut, and you know, be flanked by an army of his own dragons army and swing in for the kill. So we've got some nice removal and some sort of delay cards. First, we've got Portable Hole, 2 copies, Borrowed Time, 2 copies, which is the new Banishing Light, of course. Then we've got 3 copies of Fateful Absence, 2 copies of Rip Apart for mostly really target enchantments or artifacts, but we can occasionally also use it to bash on a Lorehold Planeswalker even, or, you know, you can go for a Werewolf Pack Leader. It can handle some threats, and I really love Rip Apart. It's so nice and flexible, so a couple copies of that. Then 2 copies of Brittle Blast. Just we did need something that does 5 damage, just in case there's some you know, big baddies running about. There's not much of that in the format, but you never know when some mono white creatures can grow too big, you know, or in the clerics builds they get the buff from the angel. You need to be able to do 5 damage at that point to get rid of it. And yeah, the last little bit of interaction is 1 sneaky copy of Lorehold Command, which is great if we ever get Manaform Hellkite in play, because you make a 5/5 dragon because of the casting cost of Lorehold Command, and then you can select the second option and the first option. So you would be attacking in with the Manaform Hellkite, a 4/4, a 5/5 dragon that you've just made off of the Manaform Hellkite from the Lorehold Command's casting cost, and a 3/2 White Spirit creature token, and then you give all of those that I've just mentioned +1/+0 and indestructibility and haste until end of turn. it's a lot of power coming your way if that ever gets to happen. So that's why I've got one sneaky copy of that in the deck. Don't forget that the Grandmaster Flowers is a non-creature spell, so that would trigger the Manaform Hellkite as well, which is making me think of ways to try and squeeze in an extra copy. We might just, I don't know, remove something during tonight's gameplay footage, kind of BrewLab style. And don't forget, of course, as usual, those modifications will be reflected in the deck description that you can see in the beneath this video, as well as on my other hub account for you guys to go copy and enjoy. But yeah, for now, I'm testing which of these 4-drops are better. I might just cut the Icingdeath and put 2 Manaform Hellkites, or leave the Icingdeath, cut something else and put 2 Manaform Hellkites, because there's a lot of stuff in here that will trigger the Manaform, which I haven't had much success with, and I do want to kind of, I mean, most of the decks that I've seen really popping off with this card are like this crazy weird combo things. HGG put one out, even CGB did, I believe, before he took his little break, like, you know, where you just teamer spells and you make ridiculous amounts of these illusions. But I'm trying to do it a little bit more traditionally. Of course, Showdown of the Skalds will also trigger it. Borrowed Time, like all of our interaction will trigger the Manaform Hellkite. So let's hope that that works out. And then the last card that I haven't really touched upon is Showdown of the Skalds, but it doesn't really need a reintroduction. Anytime I play Boros, I try to squeeze in at least 3 copies, as it is great card advantage, and putting counters on things is, of course, freaking epic. Alrighty, that's the brew. Mana base, I did sneak in back 1 copy of the campuses. I haven't been running these at all lately, but because I don't like running the Den of the Bugbear in this deck, we did have sort of space for 1 extra sort of potentially tapped land. So instead of the Den, I just put in a campus that might give us the ability to scry and dump some mana into it in the late game. But then the rest is just pretty standard. Couple of Field of Ruins, some dual lands, and some basics. All right, Dragon's Disciple. How could I have missed Dragon's Disciple? So when it enters the battlefield, you may reveal a dragon card from your hand, and if you do, or if you control the dragon, Dragon Disciple enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. So first of all, if you do have a, if you meet those conditions, it comes into play as a 2/4 for 2 mana. And then dragons you control have Ward 1. So sorry, forgot, that was the last card that I needed to touch upon. A little bit all over the place tonight, guys, but bear with me. This is a good brew. I've been having some serious fun with it, and I'm going to take you guys on a spin with me on the ranked ladder. So let's jump into some games. Now, as usual, at this point in my videos is when I like to do the tiny little bit of self-promotion that I do, and then I'll shut up about it for the rest of the video, I promise. But if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, kindly consider doing so. And of course, if you could be so kind as to do all the good YouTube stuff that really helps us out, leave a comment, like the video, and hit the bell icon. That way you'll be notified of future daily uploads. And that's that. I wish I had a red source, because that is a really good hand. Otherwise, looks like the opponent's also playing Boros Lorehold. I'm gonna risk it, because we do have like some good white stuff to play anyway, and there is a second mana source here. And just trust in the heart of the cards. Maybe we'll get that red source off the top of the library. I've switched to the white bat. Opponent having a serious think about his hand, I guess. Hello. Hey, I love free wins. Never turn down a free win. But I am also trying to make entertaining content, and this is definitely not it. Mr. Layum, did your PC crash? Is it my PC? Nah. Internet is fine. Let's have a look. See here. No, it's. I mean, otherwise we would have started to get the countdown timer. Okay, yeah, it is the opponent. I'm gonna start doing something. I've been saying this since the start of the channel, and I'm taking this idea from Mono Black Magic. If you don't know who he is, go look him up. He's like the jank master, one of my favorite content creators in the Magic sphere for sure. And whenever there's a roper, he just starts reading haikus, Japanese haiku poetry. It's hilarious. So I was thinking maybe I could do something of the sort to keep you guys entertained during moments like that. I'm actually busy reading Dune, my first reread since I was like 18, but having recently watched the movie kind of prompted me to start it up again, and wow, it is freaking epic. Truly. Okay, so yeah, this is definitely an opponent that's left. There's some really cool passages in this book. The writer is a freaking beast. Like, on par with Tolkien, in my opinion. You know, created an entire universe with entire languages and cultures and different planets with different races on them, and it's religions, and it's the depth of the amount of research that the guy must have done to write a book like that. Just blows my mind. Free win, baby. On to the next match. I promise next year, once we start having a little bit more time to dedicate to the channel and my son starts going to kindergarten, I will be dedicating a bit more time to editing the footage. Yeah. I know that it's been one of my main sort of things of the channel where it's unedited, so you're sure that I'm not cutting out the games the deck performed badly. I'm giving it to you, you know, raw and unedited. Ooh, hello. But I promise that I will continue to do so even though I am editing it. All I'll be doing is cutting out all of the, you know, waiting, like, you know, the stuff here. And I want to put in a nice intro and an outro and, you know, just increase the quality of the content a little bit starting from next year. It's my New Year's resolution. Nice. Very nice. White dragon, white bat. I have a sneaking suspicion this is going to be some life gain nonsense. That's good. It's such a removal magnet. We need lands now. Ooh, okay. Naya Wolves. I was really not expecting that. I had to cast something to keep it daytime, sorry. Here comes a Tovalar. Ooh. Naya Wolves is good, man. I promise you, it's no nonsense. Thank you. That was my plan. He's gonna take my Goldspan, surely. This is good, trust me. If I can kill that Cathar, we're getting back good stuff. So I just need to like survive. I'm hoping that this Showdown is gonna reveal some goodness. Ooh, you attacking with the Cathar? Didn't think so. This is very bad. This is very bad. I was really not what I was... What? Inquisitor Captain? Really? In a wolf deck? Now I've seen everything. Don't know if we're gonna get around this, guys. I might have needed to run like one sneaky sweeper in the deck. Yeah, let's go. Pity. So close, man. One removal spell, we would have obliterated that guy. I promise you. I'm feeling a little bit like I should do some adjustments with the number of... Like there's some cards that I want to be drawing more reliably here. Namely... Nah, I think that was just a bit of bad luck. I'm going to give it another whirl before we make any serious adjustments. The first game was obviously not a game. Second game was a bit of bad luck, so don't have enough data. Paratim? Paratim? That's a wonky hand, man. There's more chances I'll draw another Showdown than Icingdeath. Man, so many wolves, eh? I would rather hold this for Tovolar or something than just hastily get rid of a Kessig Naturalist. It's not really going to do much. Especially not against a lovely 2/4 for 2 mana. That's a great card, man. Very narrow, like, in its applications, but in terms of, like, value... I'm a little scared that there was going to be some sort of pump spell there. Didn't want to lose my guy. He could just have, you know, Frostbite. Easy. Or another Blizzard Brawl. But, you know, that's out of his hand then. It's occupying one of his turns. Could be Arlen. Nah, he's going for the removal. Somehow this avatar makes... There we go. I knew it. I was just gonna say. It's such a bullshit card. Like, really. What a crock of nonsense is this thing. Like, wow, it's really potent. I've got a Gruul list. Yeah, that's enough with the lands now, mate. Thank you very much. I need spells. I need things. Oh no. Are you kidding me, man? What the hell? What is that even? Okay. Goose rubber. How many was that? 5 lands in a row? Come on. You just feel it when the client just doesn't want you to win. It's just like, nah, you're gonna have a bad night tonight. You're gonna win 6 games and lose 6 games in a row to random guys that just bust out the nut draws every single game, and you'll go to bed feeling like absolute rubbish. But then, you know, common sense crops up and is like, hey man, it's just a game with variants, and these things happen. Fox against the lone fox. Who's gonna be the winner now? Clerics, huh? Stupid, stinky clerics. Okay, no. Maybe spirits. doesn't attack. That's nice. That gives me a chance, but I'm worried about counter magic. Oof. Oh, it's worth a try. It's probably a Jawari disruption. You might have Fading Hope. I had to try. I had to try. But that was horrible. Okay. I think we can stall one more turn. I was more worried about the little spirits than, you know, getting down my Grandmaster super soon. Opponent seems to be bricking pretty hard though, which is great. That Jawari was painful. We never learn our lesson though. It's like whenever a player has blue mana on turn 2 and leaves one up, the chances are pretty high that it's a Jawari.
Fear not, friend. I will guide your hand against evil.
I can block Dorothea.
I am proud of all my
with one of the whelps, so no biggie. Instead of +1ing the first +1 on Dorothea, I went for the grabbing the other monk out of my library there. Just go a little bit wider. Okay, here comes the spirits. Wizard class. Interesting. Probably just there for some card draw.
Try to find the good in your heart.
Woohoo! How do you like them apples, boy? I think we're in a position to make sure that the Grandmaster of Flowers arrives at his 7 loyalty. At this point, I'm not worried in the slightest. This is a very nice defensive board, and this type of deck doesn't play sweepers. That's scary, though. That's very scary. So then we'll just prevent her from attacking ever.
No peace, my enemy.
And I'll hold back the monk. So I can maybe get a double cast in next turn. Sure. What he needs is a Patrician Geist to reduce the casting cost of these things. Fleeting Spirit. Okay, yes. really evasive. That's all you can really say about that card. This is getting really dodgy though. I hope we can pull out of this one. Okay, that was just freaking great.
Perhaps learn some humility.
So what can he do with this thing? He needs to exile 3 cards from your grave. Oh, he doesn't have any mana though. Ooh, he's gonna go for the big old block. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's fine. That's absolutely fine with me. You can attack, you'll gain the life, but then you will not have a blocker. And I'm pretty certain I don't want to lose that life. It's just perfect. Bye-bye, off you go.
Stay your hand. Let's talk.
Full send. Boom, 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 boom. Man, I love the Grandmaster. It's just such a cool card. Ward 1 flying indestructible 7/7, baby. Oh. Draw some cards. Nice. Meanwhile, I'm gonna rid myself of your creature land, man land. Probably go for what, red or white? Probably red. Love like a Goldspan or one of my Manaform Hellkites or something, or a Showdown of the Skalds would be phenomenal. Crack the clue, maybe? Ooh. Okay. Wasn't not expecting that at all in this brew. Oh, I love it when the deck listens. The deck listens. Oh, baby.
I shall not let you harm others.
Blockaroo. Blockaroo. Ooh. No block. Because he wants to gain a bit of life off of the Luminous Phantom, but... And that Dorothea hasn't done a thing since he landed it. Wow, he's all over the place with this spirit build. It's too many different cards. That's just great.
Try to find the good in your heart.
I'm gonna start fetching a few more of these monks out of my graveyard, I think. Exiled to the lot of you. Game over, bud. Oh, a nice redeemer there after those horrible first couple of games. I don't think there's much you can do here, bro. You've got 2 mana open. He's really trying to find a way out of this one, but it's not happening. Got him. Alright, a bit of a redeemer there. On to the next match. The struggle to like hit stop record and reshoot the whole introduction and stuff when you get such a horrible game 1 and you know, that terrible roping, it was roping game 1 and then just a horrible game 2, but I persevered. I do trust this deck, it is good, and so we got rewarded there with a really nice win against a interesting Spirits deck. Let's hope our luck has turned. Not ideal. Depends on what I draw next turn. We'll see what I play. Okay, so let's just go for the double monk. I get the feeling that it's going to be more wolves. Again, Naya Wolves. Brutal Cathar. Tovalar. Sweet. Scoop it up, buddy. Scoop it up. Nice. Didn't even need the dragons. One timely removal spell. And some rapidly growing 1-drops were enough to banish the opponent. Alright. This might just be the last match of the night. So, full focus, full concentration. Let's win this one. While drafting, you can now hold the Alt key. Dynamic Dino. What was this guy called? Boros or something? Probably the god from Theros block that saw the least play. Ooh. I think if I play the monk, it'll just get removed straight away. Some burn stuff going on here for sure. Okay, never mind. That's the third. That's the third freaking Naya Wolf player we've played in a row. Kind of a little bit interesting. Which content creator put out a really good Naya Wolf deck in the last couple of days? Or was there some tournament results that I missed? Because I haven't seen this brew on the ladder at all. And now it's like... Okay. I need mana. And I knew that was coming. Yeah. Ask and you shall receive. Swingity swing swing. With Goldspan in hand, I'm definitely making a treasure token. Yes, yes, yes. Same old, same old. Do you block Nadaar? Good boy. Pack leader, draw a card. I'm okay with the Nadaar dying. If it gets rid of the pack leader, I'm... Yes, baby. Alright, guys. Ending it on a win. Don't want to jinx the run. That was pretty nice. I think the brew is slapping. And I highly recommend that you take it for a spin on the ladder. And I would encourage you to let me know how it goes in the comments. But in this final thoughts and wrap-up segment of the video, let us just dive back into it quickly. I think these one-offs are okay. It's the type of thing where like there's a core of the deck that does what it's supposed to do, and then there's these little outliers that if you get them, good. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. So the core, Monk of the Open Hand, Grandmaster of Flowers, you know, removal, and then just some big dragons at the top end. Whereas these like one-offs are just like, I mean, you saw the work Nadaar put in for us there in that last match. Anyway, I'm not making any adjustments. I like it just the way it is. Icingdeath worked really well in the game before that. Manaform Hellkite didn't really make an appearance until right at the end there, but still could have done its job if it ever popped up. So I'm going to leave things exactly as they are, and I will see you all tomorrow for some fresh brews. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the BrewLab, signing out. Peace, y'all.